heart of the Bolt EV concept is really this very fresh statement in terms of proportions and stance. And we really took this dedicated electrical architecture and allowed that to drive the proportions of the car. So we've got the battery sitting under the floor of the vehicle. That's given us a nice high chair height, a nice almost CUV-like package. And then the proportions of that, we've tried to take some CUV-like cues, like the cladding and the wheel arch treatments and so on. That helps to, we think, slim the vehicle down. We've also got a pretty low belt line, which gives us quite a nice fresh look to the upper. We haven't been afraid to keep the glass barrel fairly upright, again driven by that interior package, but it's really given the vehicle a feeling of width. It's got quite a long wheelbase. It's basically a B segment size vehicle with a C segment interior, but it's got a really long wheelbase and the wheels are really shoved out to the corners. And we've got this great relationship wheel to body, so the whole car really sits in a really solid and robust way on the road. Very short front overhang, and then this kind of nice tapered aero effect rear end on the back of the vehicle. It's almost kind of got a European monobox feel to it, and so the wrap of the headlamp into the A-pillar I think further accentuates that. It really takes advantage of that very short front overhang and pulls the visual right back. In terms of the grille execution, that's really a building on the typical Chevrolet dual port grille. So it's got the horizontal upper that ties the lamps together into a horizontal graphic, and then the second lower port opening. We've done that in a new and a more EV-ish kind of way without a typical grille execution, really using a lot of the front fascia surface as the detail for that. So the rear end of the vehicle, a lot of glass going on. We've got fixed glass on the rear quarter, an entirely glass lift gate. We split the tailgate, the tail lamps between the lift gate and the quarter. Again, really trying to get all of the graphic to wrap around the corner and accentuate the length of the wheelbase and the shortness of the overhangs. A lot of sculpture happening on the rear quarters, much of this being aero influenced with these kind of aero fins off the back. A lot of glass and a lot of detail going on the rear end of the car. The interior really, as with much of what we've done on the Bolt EV concept, is really taking advantage of this dedicated electric vehicle architecture to deliver something that's unique and modern and fresh and very customer focused. So what we've done is we've developed this flat platform. This battery sits flat under the floor, and we've really taken advantage of that in terms of the interior volume. We've really kept all of the space very open. We've got this really nice floating instrument panel, and then using really nice use of color and materials, sort of very matte and textured black makes all of the structure kind of fall away, and it really emphasizes this bright white cross-car element on the instrument panel. The seats are super thin, and they kind of float over this flat floor. We've taken away, we have no transmission, no muffler packaging, obviously, because it's an EV. So we've been able to open up the footwell. We've packaged all the HVAC up into the instrument panel. We've got this nice kind of floating electronic shifter that kind of sits between the two front seats. So we've done everything we can to try and make the interior feel as big and spacious and light and airy as we can. Cool graphic that we've got going on throughout the car, so we've applied it to the glass roof panel. It translates into the inserts on the rear of the front seats, and then it translates also through into some of the lighting details and so on. And then graphically has been used kind of in a really nice kind of vector way on the floor as well. This is a concept vehicle that really shows a vision for where we see our next generation dedicated electric vehicle going.